The jaw, hard. Hard din sa laki. Katawa sa sila.
Saan ba yung sabihin sa patik ng talaga? Para mo yung isa. Ang patik ng talaga? Oo. Sa auto dito na siya.
Hindi, wala mo yung paggawa ng mga ano. Wala mo yung paggawa ng mga chatbox.
Ano bagong model niya sa iPad ah? Bagong model.
Maayong gabi.
Basi si ano, kilala mo?
Si Ate Ses?
Oo, basi siya.
Ha?
Gusto ko. Ay, bakla na ako gano'n ko. Nakit mo kasi yung pin, nakit mo yung nakit mo kasi yung
So, anong ginawa natin yung talk is 1 hour and a half. So, ako ang maka-50 sometime. Okay. So, madelay kita 5 minutes. That's fine. Okay, but, I'm going to this additional person. So far, 6:36. So, magmula mo niyo, signal ko ha. Kung nagmuni ko, pagkasiga. Padayon. Nagmuni ko pagkasiga. Okay? Kung magmuna ako, next. Okay? Next. Or, next nga mga slide. Okay, kung magkabako ko na ikaw. Ikaw ang basunod. Okay? Lang, ako sa bato.
Kaya pang buta na sa mga tao yun. Kaya pang mga si Shin handa.
Ano?
Shin. Tapos yung trabangkot na yung
Ate Ses. Pwede na nito ano? Bakal taksat. Buti mo.
Kumusta? Kaya yun na pagka, ano, so anong tanong? 7.
She, her, they, iso mo sila.
Iso na. So
Bisa na
far,
tuyo.
hindi, so far, ang usually ang class ng mga compared sa eh, iba lang mo
Ang aga.
Kita. Ano nga lang dyan? Kabatangan mo, studhan mo.
Hindi ah. 3 minutes. No.
Di, ano?
Practice ka doon.
Practice ka rin.
Alam ko ano yung parang
We have 2 minutes.
Sino ko ano ka naman ni Rennel? Pana? Sa prayer.
Bago ako nag-box na pala sa mga project. Bago ako nag-box din.
maayong gabi.
Dapat mo, ano mo naman short out na yun? Dapat mo, ano? Okay, ready? 1 minute.
Greetings! Abo niyo mga gawa ay masapa.
So, ano nga yung matawag ko?
Madali ka ng gabi. Kapag sa murang do.
Hindi, morning sa iba. Hindi, sa akin. It's an extra.
Adlaw na.
Gabi na.
Kurawa na daw.
Good day. Good night ba lang yung parang na.
Yeah, night. One minute left.
Ready? On audio. Good morning or good evening to all of our participants in this program wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you for your interest in participating in Himi Galaw at Tula ng mga Ninuno 2025, a program organized by the Pow Foundation for Culture and the Arts. This program aims to promote Philippine music, dance, and oral traditions to the next generation, which also supports the vitality and viability of the indigenous and traditional expressions of the Philippines. And of course, it will encourage local cultural masters to transmit their knowledge. I am Jose Taton Jr. You may call me Pau, and I'll be your facilitator for today. This is our class in Subin, and before I forget, I would like to ask for permission to record this particular session. I would like to ask everyone to maybe show a heart sign as a form of agreement or consent so that I can record our session today. Okay, I can see 4 hearts. Okay, more hearts please. Okay, because we're going to spread love today. Okay, thank you for your approval. Okay, I'll be recording this to my computer.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so I would like to welcome you to this program, and today we will be learning a unique tradition from the Philippines, particularly from the Panay Bukidnon community in Western Visayas. For the information of everyone, Western Visayas is located at the central part of the Philippines, and of course, I am living in this area. So, before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone, our participants, of some basic house rules. First, each participant is muted during the course of the session. Second, kindly raise your hand through the Zoom platform to be acknowledged during the question and answer segment. And after that, you will be unmuted and be allowed to throw your inquiry. For the class, it's highly encouraged that each participant have their own instruments beside them. And if not, then I would like to ask you to maybe get a pencil, a pen, or anything that you can use as a substitute. Moreover, if you have, I would also like to remind you that this session is going to be really interactive, and I am looking forward to your participation. Okay, so thank you, participants. Okay, to begin our program, I would like everyone to pause for a moment of silence for a short prayer to be led by one of our speakers, Mr. Rennel Lavilla.
Nyamung kayaw kau deya ibong tao kau ginoo lengay kau samas turut sae dalem lengay kanday pamingkat turut kay pame norak ngasong ilin pagpabayin di pagpatorasan.
Thank you, Rennel. And to give us more context about our program tonight, let us hear from international artist and founder of the Tao Foundation for Culture and Arts, Miss Grace Nono. Miss Grace?
Thank you, Professor Pow Taton. Welcome everybody to the 2025 Gilbaliga. We are very happy to see some old faces and some new ones. Just Harp, some people call it Juice Harp, some people call it Pow Harp. It is a musical instrument that's
Thank you, Ms. Grace. Those were really beautiful words. And I hope that our students were encouraged by your vision, about the project and that they'll be more enthusiastic for future programs that the Pow Foundation has in store for everyone. I believe that translates to, a level of excitement which I expect they will, sustain at the end of the course. And joining here with us today are our participants, okay? And they come from various parts of the world. And probably I would like to ask everyone to maybe introduce yourselves first so that we become more acquainted before we, embark with, our talk demo today. So I would like to ask everyone to present yourself, maybe indicate your name, if you have an affiliation, let's say university, or maybe if you're working in a culture and arts related organization. So anything that you want to share with us. So maybe I'll pick one. Let's start with Miss Ayi, of course. Let's start with Miss Ayi first.
I'm the PA from here, so I think with Lavilla, helping out with this course. So, what was the question? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm very interested in singing because I just think that singing as a gift, but I never learned how to properly play it. So excited. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So maybe we can have some words from Mr. Ralph. Ralph? Yeah, Ralph.
And I'm interested in math rock as a kid, although I played recently the Western style one. Now I have some, I have this one. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is Philippines or Indonesian, but it's very similar to what I'm doing. And I have one from Vietnam. Anyway, I have a lot of fun. So here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ralph. How about Eric? Eric?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, very clear.
Okay. So, I'm Eric from the Philippines, and for those who may know, I'm also from Lavilla, Bukidnon. I'm also interested in specifically learning a jaw harp in any way that is more than just, hearing it from the internet and knowing how it's played. I'm very curious how the words are encoded or what it actually means to encode words or what it exactly does. So I've had some background study about the Panay Bukidnon's culture under, Mamo and Kuku did some documenting on the Panay Bukidnon's music and dance. And this is like a perfect combination of why don't I learn from an actual culture where it's at this point where that's the only missing. Also, yes, I am from Contragapti, from IE, and I also did join Kutyapti classes prior.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh, thank you so much. It's really nice to see fresh faces. Of course, I'm not from Manila, but of course, hopefully we can maybe talk more after this session. So let's have some words from Kokoy or is it Kokoy or Mary Alini?
Coco is okay. I'm here in Bantayan Island, in the Visayas, and I'm interested, I am obsessed with mouth harp. At one point, I inherited a lot of Vietnamese mouth harps of different sizes, and as a way to make money, because I inherited this quantity, I was selling them while I was traveling, and I love the sound of
Thank you so much. We have also here Princess, but I think she's still in transit. So she's from Panay City and Manay, Davao Oriental. So Princess is a filmmaker and artist and has worked with Miss Grace Nono before. So I think she's really glad to join this and look forward to learn from, of course, our cultural masters. And our, of course, culture bearers. They are young culture bearers. And of course, she wants to play these instruments soon. Did I miss somebody? I think we still have Sobi Wing.
Good morning, Vancouver. The traditional lands of the Muslim ownerships place with nature. I am also the Qatar Filipino Indigenous Arts Society and the National Filipino Cultural Center of Canada. I am very interested in learning more about public philanthropy and was learning recently about the at least in the Cebuano, I believe, practices where the lovers would be transmitting messages back and forth through the music, and that they were known for a reflection of harmony between people when they play well together. So that always struck me as very interesting, and thinking of somebody today that these are like the telegram of our ancestors, the instant messenger of our ancestors. And yeah, I'm happy to be with you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sobi.
Very sense of like,
Yeah, did I say your name properly? Sobi? Sobi? Oh, Sobi. Okay. How about Dindy Las Piñas? Is Dindy with us? Hello.
Yeah, hi. A young Dadu gave me this, so I'm confused if it's Sumi or Kumi. And it's just been sitting here. So, yeah, I'm curious about because, you know, I can only make one sound. You can make many sounds. He demonstrated it, and it was so loud. I don't know if it was so many fingers and like. So, yeah. And then I'm not affiliated with any group or whatever, but I'm very, very interested in preserving our culture. So I support any initiative that does that. And I would like more people to have greater appreciation of our ancestry, our culture, our heritage. So any initiative that has that, I am. And yeah, I know Mike, my friend from the Frantic Feeding Foundation with the seats, whatever you have. I also have, yeah. So yeah, so it's nice to have many commonalities, and then we all come together and don't see different setting, but still we have our common interests beyond the
Thank you for that heartfelt, support to our culture. And we have another participant here, Jay. Is this Jay? Is this correct?
Yes, I'm Jasmine. Hello.
Hello, Jasmine.
I'm calling from the United States West Coast. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I've accounted everyone, correct? So let's maybe move forward, okay? So I will not delay this further. I'll be introducing our speakers for today's lecture demonstration. So I have here with me Rolinda and Rennel, and I would like to ask Rolinda and Rennel to open your video, please, your cameras, please. So Rennel Lavilla is a member of the Panay Bukidnon, an indigenous cultural community in Central Panay Island in Western Visayas, Philippines. So he's adept in constructing traditional Panay Bukidnon bamboo instruments, earning him his takama or mountain name as Tingguro, which is craftsman. So he's also skilled in dancing the traditional Bilanog dance as well as a after musical accompanist playing various indigenous rhythms. Moreover, he's also a trained embroidery artisan, and he has shared his expertise in various fora and workshops as well as in international platforms. So Rennel is of course still a student, and he is always involved in many culture related affairs in the community as well as in the region. Rennel, would you like to maybe greet our participants for tonight?
Hello, good evening everyone. It is an honor to be part of this workshop. And thank you very much for joining this workshop.
Okay, and we have also here Rolinda Gilbaliga. She's known for her pakama or mountain name as Durupan, which means creative. So she's an active chanter and traditional dancer coming from a lineage of binukots or kept women. She has represented her community in various music and dance performances locally and internationally. And of course, Durupan is also with her son right now because her son is of course looking for her mom. So please indulge Rolinda to be sometimes out here to take care of son. Anyway, Rolinda, would you like to say something to our participants?
Madawgan niyo kurawon sa pagkahangulang tao, sa pagkarakong alawon, na nagapatimbay o kumilangkot sa aslangan ninyo. I'm going to welcome you, saying daambahan. Aday! Kuno mga bugto, mga lotongan, nga talagpito lang kuno yang adlaw, talagsaha, lang yang korawon, nga nagturong kahala, kuno kami sa ibugto, nagkirita, sa ilotongan, nga gabulinas, kuno kamit kahidlaw, gabeul, kakapong aw sa lugar, tahari mayangan. So it means good day everyone. We are happy to be here and to be your teacher for tonight. And please have a thank you for sharing your time to be with us tonight.
Okay, Rennel, would you like to add some more?
So good evening again. So I am Rennel Lavilla, and I am also a craftsman or a maker of one of our smallest musical instrument in our community.
Okay, and I believe that everyone is ready. So, and I believe that everyone is ready for our workshop lecture demo tonight. I think Rennel said something earlier. So he said he's one of the makers of the subing. I think I turned off my audio. Anyway, I'll be sharing with you a slide that we have prepared, and I would like Rennel and Rolinda to start with our lecture demonstration.
So, good evening everyone. Welcome to Tulog Subing, or the Harp music of the Panay Bukidnon community here in Panay Island. So, who or what is Panay Bukidnon? So, Panay Bukidnon is a indigenous cultural community located in the central Panay Islands in West and Central Philippines. So Panay Bukidnon people are located in the municipality of Libacao, Aklan, on the municipality of Tapas and Hamindan in the province of Capiz, and municipality of Valderrama, Lawaan, and province of Antique, and also in the municipality of Calinog, Haniway, Lambunaw, in the province of Iloilo and other areas. So, Panay Bukidnon, also known as Solod, is an indigenous cultural community found in central Visayas, known for its binokot or Cape-maiden culture, possessing at least 10 known epics, collective known as Sugidano.
So we have here our academic recognition, someone who did a research about our Ipichan and introduced the Panay Bukidnon.
So, first, we have Dr. Landa Hocano, an anthropologist who recorded the Hinilawon epic in 1950s. And then second, Ma'am Alicia P. Magos, also an anthropologist. She documented and published 10 epics from one of our Manilica and Bayan awardee, or our national artist, Federico Caballero. And also Ma'am Christine Moico, an ethnomusicologist, research about the ethno-music of the Panay Bukidnon people in the Central Panay. And also the Binanog traditional courtship dance of Panay Bukidnon.
So we have here one of our tradition is the binokot. This is a prestige of the family, told of oral lores, chants, needlework, and dances. So there is a condition: if you want to marry the binokot, they have a pangayo of bride's gift and the pangagad or rendering the service. So binokot is one of the important person in our community who continue the practices.
And also binokot is our culture bearer of our community. So binokot know how to chant, how to dance, how to make the instrument, and all kinds of in parts of our culture. So binokot is also known as the babaylan, because most of our binokots are also babaylan or shamans, and they possesses spiritual guidance to the community.
So as you can see at the background, one of my grandmother, Felisa Castor Minis, is one of my grandmother who's practice one of the binokot in our community.
And before I forget, Rolinda, I would like to interject. One of your grandmother is also another binokot, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us some stories about her experience as binokot?
So one of my grandmother named Conchita Gilbaliga is a binokot, and she has the capacity to continue the practice about embroidery, and she know also about tato or batang, and she also teach us how to do the binanog and all these traditions.
And also, Nanay Conchita Gilbaliga is one of the famous embroiderer in the area of Tapas, Capiz. And also, Nanay Conchita is known as an instrumentalist. She know how to play the traditional flute, Jaws harp, or the subing, the bamboo idiophones, the litgit, or our two-string bowl instrument, gongs, and our drums. So next we have here the tinubkan. So tinubkan or panubok is the traditional embroidery of the Panay Bukidnon community, and it came from the word tubok, means to embroider or to pin. No? So it is our needle craft. So it is also an environmental mimicry. For example, the design of our attire tonight, no? The examples are the mula kalabo, or the flower of the roselle plant, the inagsam or the mountain ridges, the tugi-tugi or the vines, the matangpunay or the pattern mimics the eye of the native pigeon, the sudlikama, the skin of the python snake, and the paku-paku are the edible ferns in the mountains. So as you can see in our presentation, that are some of the traditional patterns of Panay Bukidnon.
It's also inspired from nature. So as we mentioned earlier, we have the binokot and they are kept in a room. So they need to imagine the nature from the outside and they need to embroider it to the cloth, to our costume or attire.
So we have Sugidanon. So Sugidanon is the traditional oral tradition of Panay Bukidnon. So Sugidanon is came from the root word to sugid, means to tell. So sung in an older form of Karaya. So Karaya is one of our major language in the Panay Islands. No? And chanted narratives about the conquest of a legendary people and mythical characters reflects the social and spiritual world of the Panay Bukidnon source of values and customs. And also known, the Sugidanon is also famous and known as one of the longest epic in the world. And lately, it became one of the UNESCO World Memory, and that is the Hinilawan epic recorded by anthropologist Landho Cano during 1950s.
I think it's nice if everyone can, get, to hear an example of a Sugidanon. Would you like to grace us with, a simple performance, Rennel?
So this is only an excerpt from the epic of Buyong Humadapnon, one of the famous datu in the epic of Panay Bukidnon. So this is the excerpt from the story on how Humadapnon search for his wife. Pamunuon Dubai soge de sogo dae soge danen buyong umadap min gali ale kabaan wa gali bote adenen ang kasakayan bulawan ang buska tolenan panog dase gedasegan gadalegut Teblau dan nagadak koelayagen kesakayang panondon biday ngapanublihan wara mayawing solaura kamire pegke patunga doy beday kepalayan loyan dum satunga tukalalauran ka alang-alangan bete kulay doulong mala sarami samlang. So the meaning of the chant is, it is in the part where that Buyong Humadapnon start the journey using a golden boat, because Buyong Humadapnon also a datu with a golden body and a very powerful datu. And rock in an enchanted cave called Darangban.
Oh, that's a really beautiful tale, Rennel, and I hope everyone can get to hear it live. So maybe we can plug, every January there's a Hinirugyao Sugidanon Festival, and I think the indigenous communities here in Panay are gathering for that kind of performance. So if you have time, sometime in January, please do come here. And I think the tale that Rennel chanted is quite long, right? And I think we do not have much time to finish everything. Based on my experience, I finished one Sugidanon in about like 5 or 6 days. So that's how long one narrative is. So I hope you get to hear that soon. It will also invite me to come here. And
So Binanog. So Binanog dance is the traditional courtship dance of Panay Bukidnon. And Binanog dance has 3 kinds of dance. First is the Tigbabaye or the female mode dance, exclusive only for women. And the Tiniglalaki is a pair dance composed of 1 male and 1 female. And then the third and the last one is the Lupit, composed of 2 female and 1 male. So it is like a love triangle dance. So because obviously Binanog dance is a traditional courtship dance.
So this kind of tradition, we perform this during the wedding, traditional wedding, and we also now we are using it to the funeral and to the family gathering.
And also Binanog dance, it is a symbol of the community's identity, and also it is inspired, and it is an imitation from one of the famous bird in the Panay Bukidnon community. It is the banog or the hawk bird. So the functions of Binanog dance is for entertainment, and the major function is for courtship. So this is the sample of the traditional Binanog dance in a funeral. So as you can see, they are using handkerchief because the message of the male to his partner is in the movements of the handkerchief. And now let's proceed to the Panay Bukidnon gong and bamboo instrument. So first, as you can see in our presentation, in the first picture at the upper side of our presentation, that is the agong and the tambol. So agong is a gong, a traditional gong of Panay Bukidnon. But mostly of our gongs are Burmese nipple gongs. So mostly of our gongs are antiques, bring by the Chinese merchants during the barter time. And the tambol is made of deer skin and wood. So deer skin is composed of male and female. And then the next is the tikombot or the bamboo idiophone. And the tulali, our traditional flute, the litgit, the traditional bone instrument, and the subing, which is our the main topic for tonight's webinar. And then lastly is the subanggang or the traditional bamboo buzzer or the Panay Bukidnon.
You see, we have too much information about Panay Bukidnon. So now we're going to discuss and focus to the instruments called agong. This is a heirloom instrument, and we pass it to the next generation. And we believe that this item we can also trade and to other the other community, and it also played in a social events like I mentioned earlier in a death, funeral, or it will be performed during our Binanog festival. This is also one of the sacred items, and we use this for the rituals to call the spirits or the deities.
So next is the tambol. So tambol is a traditional cylindrical drum of the Panay Bukidnon. So it is made of natural materials made of hardwood, abaca, the vines, the male and the female deer skin. So we are not using same gender of a deer. We are using male and a female because traditionally we can't produce a good sound tambol if you are using same gender of deer. So it is also played in social event. It is accompanied in the Binanog dance together with the gongs, and it is performed during the Binanog Hawk Eagle dance.
Tulali is one of our mouth flute. We also have similarities in other ethnic group. This is made of the bamboo. We call it bagakay, and we put some banana leaf to wrap the blue hole. And this is also a leisure instrument. We played by the binukot to entertain, and to also use it for the courtship. It also attracts the spirit, and yeah, it's one of the instruments of Panay Bukidnon.
So tulali also used in courtship because it can convey a secret messages, no? And tulali is a very sacred instrument because some of our shamans use that instrument to attract and call the spirits of nature. And also a leisure instrument used by our Cape maidens. Next, we have the litgit. The litgit is a traditional bowed instrument of the Panay Bukidnon with only 2 strings. So it is made of a bamboo and twine abaca string. And then we use the sap of the tree as a reason, and it is also one of the leisure instrument and a courtship instrument also in our community. So we use this instrument also to express love, express sadness, express happiness and other kinds of emotions also. And we also use this instrument to for coaching.
This also we imitate the sound from the gamis, and we have the pattern called ginangis.
So next is the suganggang, or the traditional bamboo buzzer of the Panay Bukidnon. So it is made of a bulo. So bulo is a kind or a family of a bamboo plant. So we use suganggang for as a leisure instrument for a personal entertainment, and also a substitute for a gong. And suganggang also in other parts of the Paskapis, they use the bamboo buzzer to make their child to fall asleep.
Okay, and I think there were so many information that Rolinda and Rennel has shared with us. I think this is a good primer for for us to understand Panay Bukidnon culture in general, and of course for us to in a way contextualize subing as an instrument also. And I've heard several things from Rolinda, like the instruments are always used by the Benukot. And if you have some questions related to Panay Bukidnon culture, it's nice if we can hear something from you. You can always use the chat box for us to, at least know what your thoughts are as of the moment. So if you have a question or two, so use the chat box for that. If you want to deliver it yourself, so this is a time for us to maybe ask Rennel and Rolinda about general things about Panay Bukidnon culture before we move to our topic, which is subing. So anyone who wants to maybe ask something related to Panay Bukidnon culture? Okay, I think could you share the slides after class? I think we can do that, Rennel, right? Yeah. Okay, anyone? Okay, so we have here from Ses for the tambol. Why does it have to be made with both male and female skin? What's the difference? Maybe Rennel can shed light on that.
So traditionally, we believe as Panay Bukidnon that if we depart in this world, we need the partner in afterlife. So if we use only the same gender of the deer, the danger in our community is mostly, for example, we are using both female. So our female deers will lost, and it will not grow, it will not multiply in the environment because we don't have a lot of female deer. But we use the same both gender to balance the populations of our deer.
About tambol.
Say.
So about tambol, the difference I think is the thick part of the male and the female. So it has a different quality of the skin. That's why they need to partner the female and the male skin for the tambol.
And as Rolinda mentioned, so female deer, the skin of the female deer is thinner than the male deer, and that is the reason why we use both gender, because we have this kind of concept of what we call sibad, and we only acquire the good pitch, or the what we call this, the proper pitch by using a thin and a thick skin, because it will resonate and the both sides of the tambor.
Okay, I think Jasmine raised her hand. Let's hear from Jasmine. Was it Jasmine?
Yes, it's me.
Okay, so maybe let's start with Rolinda.
So I started when I was young through listening, because it's an oral tradition. So we need to learn the how they chant, the elders, before we learn from the text. Before, because the old way of learning is through listening before we memorize the epic chant.
So maybe what age, Rolinda?
About 5 years old. be a really young age. Some people now started at 3 years old.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's a really long way to go. I mean, Rolinda is probably in her I do not know, maybe in her 30s already, Rolinda, in the 20s. So that's like about 20 years
Yes.
or more.
Yes,
So
before you master.
yeah.
And you need to listen it like all the time during dinner, after dinner.
So how about you, Rennel? When did you learn Sulidano?
So in my personal experiences, I grow in the lowland, and to reconnect in our culture, I've studied Binanog the epic chant in our school of living tradition. So we have this school of living tradition in the mountains, where the elders or the cultural master teach the young ones how to chant, how to dance, how to play the instruments. And I am one of the pioneer students of the School of Living Tradition in Barangay Latagan, Calino, Iloilo. And I learned the chant for almost, I think, from now on, it is 7 to 8 years.
Oh, that's a really long time too. I mean, I've been in the community for almost like 10 years, but I can't even like master, all of these things. Anyway, so, but I do appreciate, how they perform the Sukidano. And we'll also hear another question from Kokoy. So did the Binukot also make their instruments? Maybe Rolinda?
Okay, as far as I know, they are also trained to make the musical instrument, but of course the family will going to provide the materials for them to do the instruments at home, because they are not allowed to go outside.
Okay, that's I hope that answers your question. And maybe we can have one more question, one last question. From Sobi, when would the epic chant be shared? After dinner? For how many hours at a time? Rennel?
So the epic chant mostly shared by the elders after dinner, because after dinner that is the sleeping time in the mountain, because we don't have electricity, so we need to sleep early. So we are have the dinner for 5 in the afternoon or 6 in the afternoon. Then after that, the elder will sing the epic in the hammock, no? And that will last until the grandchildren fall asleep.
Okay, I think our speakers here answered your queries. I hope that you were enlightened by their answers. And now we'll be having a break, maybe a 5-minute break, and maybe during this particular period, if you have let's say a sudden burst of insight, you may share this in the chat box. And I hope that can also like maybe freshen up yourselves. Can maybe get a glass of water, and we'll be returning in 5 minutes. Okay, thank you.
Happy ba ako sa
Ano ka na? Sige, yung flow. No, manage na.
Dagan pala ka pabulak-bulak. Lamian talaga ng kanok ha. Nagulog na ng kanok. Ang kanok.
Ready na siya, 30 minutes lang. So, ang notice ko, medyo kind of low edge ka na siguro. Though, hindi ko lang conversation na. But mas relaxed ang approach.
So ka-perform ano?
Oh, it's kind of
Low intense.
Let's make it parang conversation.
Low
Intense. Low. May regarding.
instrumento ka natin. Puro instrument, yung kulintan ka, professor mo siya dati. Pero kasi hindi sa ito.
Water break.
Present to Vito.
Diyan na siya. Tapos yung ito yung ito. Tapos yung ito. Pero ba sa 5 minutes lang? 3 minutes lang chicken.
Iba ng drone. Ang makakasama. Paano?
So dapat mo ang conversational style. So ma-interject them sa inyo. Mas pinatural ako na mga experience. Hindi ka budget ka ka. Tulungan ka sa English. So, ano mo is pinapasan ka lang kung wala yung explain. So, you need to explain mo. Kung kung marami dyan, sa English, ma-interject mo. Okay? So, interject. Okay, mauna ko. Mauna ko. Okay, we're back, and before we start this next segment of our lecture demo for tonight, I would like to ask everyone to maybe, refresh your mind, maybe think of 2 keywords that really struck you based on the discussion that we had earlier, and please kindly type these 2 keywords in our chat box. So that we get to we at least we have a bit of feedback as to what really made you interested with Panay Bukidnon culture in general. So I'll give you maybe 20 seconds for that. So anything that you can remember at all as a form of maybe review of the things that Rennel and Rolinda has shared. Okay, anyone? I'll be reading your responses here. Any 2 keywords that you can still remember or that really has struck you based on Rolinda and Rennel's introduction to Panay Bukidnon culture. Maybe I'll be reading them later. Okay, so Rennel and Rolinda, are you ready to share more about our topic for tonight, which is the subing?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I'll give the floor to Rolinda and Rennel, okay, for their discussion.
So, good evening everyone. So, welcome to the Subing workshop webinar for a lecture for Panay Bukidnon instrument. No? So thank you for choosing this activity for tonight. So subing is the Panay Bukidnon musical instrument, the smallest musical instrument in our community. So it is made of bamboo. So we are using a specific type of bamboo, which is a hanumu, turned bamboo. So subing is one of our leisure instrument, play as a solo instrument, and it is also a subject of a local narrative. And maybe Rolinda will share the story later, and also adjunct to the practice of the musical rhythms. So the subing can imitate the Panay Bukidnon traditional rhythms, for example, the tambol. So subing can imitate all kinds of tambol rhythms. Also, ubing can imitate the rhythms of the gong, but then subing can't imitate the flute and the litgit or the bow instrument. But any percussion instrument, the subing will can imitate all rhythms made by a percussion instrument. So maybe Rolinda can share the story, our local narratives about how we have this subing.
So thank you so much, Rennel. So as you can see, this is not only for Binanog music, but we also use this juice harp to our short story. Like, for example, one of our example is Don Juan, and it entitled Kuro Bingbing Kuro Babaw. This is a kind of interesting story, and I find it very funny because one of the characters is trying to borrow this instrument from the turtle. So one day, turtle heard the juice harp from Don Juan, and the turtle is interested to have this kind of instrument. And so, in a condition to have this kind of instrument, he need to give an exchange to Don Juan, and Don Juan asked the turtle if what he can give in exchange. And the turtle said, maybe I can make your clothes smells good. And Don Juan agreed with it. And one day, turtle went to the forest and eat all the fresh fruits and go back to Don Juan. And then he asked Don Juan to cover him all the clothes. And then he started to fart. And he has this very smells good, the fart. And then the Don Juan convinced, and he gave this juice harp to the turtle. And when the turtle was traveling, the lizard, is it the lizard? Monitor lizard heard the juice harp and asked the turtle where it came from. And the turtle said, it come from Don Juan. But you need to make Don Juan's clothes smells good. Then so the monitor lizard went to the forest and ate all this dead meat, like a frog and other animals, and went to Don Juan and also did the same thing, but the fart smells bad. And then he went back to the turtle. And the next day, the turtle traveled, and the monkey met the turtle and asked if he can borrow the juice harp. And I think I need to pass on to Rennel to continue the story.
So after the monkey borrowed the subing, the monkey climbed in a very tall tree, and the turtle can't reach because turtle is a very small animal. That's why the turtle seek and ask help to a crab, the very little and tiny crab, to reach the tallest part of the tree and catch the monkey. So the small crab go climb in the tree and pitch the balls of this monkey, and because of the testicles, and because of the pain, the monkey threw the subing, and because it is in the forest, the subing gone in the forest, and no one can find the subing. But then these wild chickens offered a help to the turtle, and they said, we will scratch the ground to find your subing, but you need to pay us grains and any food that you can give us. And this wild chicken searched and they found the subing. And as a payment, as an agreement, the turtle paid them the rice grains, corn, and other food. And after that, the turtle keep his subing and pass it to the next generations of its family until the people saw the subing, and in the turtle has a play in the subing, and it is like kuru bing bing kuru baw baw isa ka kong dangleg itakis kong lawa at kuru bing bing kuru baw baw isa mo ko tumbo ko sulod kong baling nga kuru bing bing kuru baw baw. So kuru bing bing kuru baw baw traditional rhythm is from the story of on how we have this little instrument.
So we have the sample here.
So we have the sample of the kuru bing bing kuru baw baw rhythm.
I think, based on how I heard or how Rolinda played it, I can hear the kuru bing bing. Is that it? Kuru
Yes,
bing
yes.
bing, kuru baba. Okay, so it's a really interesting story how you blend musical instrument playing with folk narratives such as the kuru bing bing and kuru baba. I think that marks how intertwined different traditions are in Panay Bukidnon culture. And would you like to add more to that, Rennel? Maybe this one.
Yes, so this is the construction process of the traditional subing or the Panay Bukidnon. And we have a lot of traditional patterns and designs in our Diyosa. And as you can see, this is just only one of our design in Diyosa. And we are known, the Panay Bukidnon is very known as the longest Diyos harp one of the longest Diyos harp in the Philippines. And as you can see in our presentation, that is the steps on how to make the subing. So we have this kind of tradition that if you make the subing, you must start in this area before you proceed here. So you must do this area first, second is this, and the last part is this area. You cannot do the subing by starting in the middle because the bamboo will break. Because bamboo is a very fragile kind of material also. So as you can see in the picture number 1 in your left side, in the upper left side of the presentation, that is how you make the danlugan. So the danlugan is the striking point and the striking part of the subing. So this is the danlugan. This is the danlugan. Where you strike the subing. Second, you need to do the bosom. So at your upper right side, you can see how the bosom is made. So that is the thinnest part of the Diyos harp. And that is also where you tune the kubing. If you want a bass sound, you want a very sharp sound, that is your when did you adjust the sound of the kubing. And in your lower left side, that is how you make the dila or the tongue of the Diyos harp. And that is the very important part of the instrument because the dila or the tongue gives the vibration that you need to make in order to have the sound in your mouth. So that is the tongue of the subing. And you need to also to make the punta. This is the punta or the tip of the subing. And where you put the traditional designs. And this design, this particular subing, this is the tail of one of the birds in the mountains. It is a migratory bird, but the locals say that this is one also of the native birds here in Panay, which is the pileo. So this is the pattern in the tail of the pileo bird, and this is only just one of the traditional design. And in the body of our subing, we have this batik or the carvings in the body of our Diyos, as you can see. That is the very intricate carvings in the body of our instruments. And also, we have two kinds of proper handling of the subing. So the first is, if you have a short subing, a short one subing, maybe more than this, from your, what do you call it? From your thumb to this part of your finger, if you have this measurement of the subing, you must hold the subing like this. This is the proper holding of the subing if you have a shorter kind of the subing. But if it is very short, like a just harp of Vietnam, you must hold it like this. You must hold it like that. But if you have this kind of measurement, you must hold this on. Why? What is the reason behind that you need to hold your subing like this? Because if the subing is short, the vibration must focus here. So you need to protect the body of the subing, that the vibration will focus here. Because if you will hold it very loose, the vibration will go in this part of the subing. It will make your subing, the sound of your subing, very low, and you can't do the vibration very well. So you need to hold the subing like this. But if your subing is very long, you need to hold the subing like this in order to stop the vibration to go in this part of your instrument. So your instrument must lean in your arm in order to stop the vibration, and the vibration must focus in this part of your jaw.
Okay, I think that's a really interesting information, right? So, Rennel, I was just wondering, you have so many like designs. You said some of the designs of the tip of the subing comes from nature. Are there also other types of designs that you know?
Yes, we have this design, we call it puron. That is from the traditional swords of our people. We have also this design like inamok, like a monkey design. We have this what we call the binuaya or a crocodile design. And we have this ikong kapilyo, this one. We have the hinulinday or the tip of the traditional boat of the Panay Bukidnon. And we have also the girigiti or the mountain ranges design in our subing. So we have a lot of designs in our subing.
Wow, that's really interesting, Rennel.
And also, I want to share this information that we have two ways in how to strike the subing. So the first is you are using your thumb in striking the subing. And it is a very easy one. Next, you can use your this index finger. Some players play the subing like this. But in Panay Bukidnon, we only use this one or this one. So that is the two way on how we play the subing. But we have also this kind of manner. We cover the body of queen with our hand to trap the sound in our mouth. So that's why that's also help the subing to make it a loud sound also.
Okay, so that is really interesting. So how do you play, how do you make the rhythms for the subing, Rennel? Would you like to share with us?
Yes. So the rhythms of the subing, we have this what we call tak-tak or the ginaisip na limog. So ginaisip na limog, this is sound concept in our mind that we need to transfer that vowels or syllables in the Diyos harp or in the subing. So for example, the kuru bing bing kuru bao bao, you must think the mnemonics kuru bing bing kuru bao bao, and you need to transfer that vocally into your jaw heart. So that's the reason why your jaw heart will also say kuru bing bing or sounds like kuru bing bing kuru bao bao, because we have this concept also of sibod or synchronization, that we need to synchronize one instrument to other instrument. That's why we need to use the tak-tak or the vocal mnemonics or acceleration or the. We use our saliva as our musical instrument also, and that is in our tak-tak. So we have also this patik, basal, and kadul. That are the manner of playing the gong. So patik is playing the gong in the rim, and kadul is playing the gong in the bush. That is beating the gong in the bush. And we also, the subing can also imitate the patik patterns and the kadul patterns, or the patterns in the bush of the gong and in the rim of the gong.
So in addition, how we put these instruments and how we play it, we need to find the tongue of it, and we need to put it on our lip, and we can create the vocal sound as Rennel mentioned earlier, like a, e, o, o. So it has a different resonation in our mouth. So it creates a different sound through vowels, like is like open, is like high pitch, and o it also like a circle form, like a drone.
So I also want to share, the proper way of putting the subing in your mouth. This is the secret ingredients of our subing. You need to put your finger first here, and then you need to put your subing after your finger. And then if you remove your finger, it will remain a hole in your mouth. And that hole will protect you from the tongue of the subing. Because if the tongue of the subing will strike your teeth or your tongue, that is very painful. That's why you need to have this distance between the subing and your lips. That's why you need to put your finger first and follow the subing. And next we have this lagi na isip malimod. So we have this mnemonic. So for example, the patakdang terba. So we need to pronounce it by syllables. Patakdang terba. Patakdang terba. And every syllable is, the equivalent of every syllable is to one strike, likobin. Whether it is forward or it is backward. So you need to follow the syllables. The syllables is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a 7 syllable, and you need also to play it 7 strike in a subing in order to pronounce the patakdang turuba in your subing.
Rennel, can you say the mnemonic first? Maybe like how do you say it in Panay Bukidnon?
So in Panay Bukidnon we say patakdang is as patakdang terba, patakdang terba, patakdang terba, patakdang terba. And you need to follow that in your subing, that patakdang terba, patakdang terba, patakdang terba.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yes, Relinda?
So as you can see here, Sir Pow and Rennel transcribed it through notes, and you can see the rhythm here in the presentation, and there's like an upbeat where you need to cope up with the rhythm, like as Rennel did the patakdang turuba earlier.
And also you can use your tongue to make that what we call the dub and what you call accent, or the accent in playing of the subing. You can use your tongue, because the tongue is the one of the contributors on how to shift the tone of the subing. You can use your tongue, you can use the air from your mouth, the pressure of the air, and you can also use your throat. So you can create like a robotic sound if you use your throat, and a very sharp sound if you use your tongue, and a bass sound if you use the pressure of the air in your mouth. So next, Okay.
So there's also, as we have the gender modes. We call it tigbabayi and tiglalaki. So in our tiglalaki, we use this in Binalog dance for the two dancers, the male and the female. We have the pattern called dalunga, patakdangang dalunga, patakdangang talda, patakdangang turba. And in tigbabayi, we have the tinagbak at barakun and the barakunya.
So these are only some of the rhythms, but in Tinigalaki you have more than 20 rhythms, I think. And in Tigbabayi we have 7 or to 10 rhythms in Tigbabayi. So we have this also the boses or the movements. So in Filipino language, boses is the voice, but in Panay Bukidnon language, boses is the movement, not the voice. So that is the movements of the Binanog dance. And the basal is the rhythmic patterns of the Binanog dance and traditional rhythms of Panay Bukidnon.
So you're saying, Rennel, that in, for example, performing the Binanog, you can also translate all of these in the subing. Is that correct?
Yes,
Ah,
you
I
can
see.
translate all the rhythms in your subing.
Okay, so all of the rhythms here listed are translatable
Yes.
to subing. Okay, so maybe we can have a sample or
Yes.
okay, maybe Rennel can.
So as you can hear, the mnemonics is patak dantal na 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 patak dantal na. So that is the mnemonics behind the talda rhythm of the subing. And this is the sample of the Tinigbabayi. So as you hear, no, that the mnemonics of the tinagbak is the giriling, 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 linda. So as you can hear the subing says giriling, giriling da, giriling da, giriling, giriling da, giriling da, giriling, giriling da, giriling da. And that's how you follow the mnemonics and transfer the mnemonics into your subing so that you can play the rhythms beautifully.
So we don't just play this instrument by just play with it, but it also synchronizes with our dance, and we also think about it like internalize the music before we transfer it to our dance.
Oh, so this is just a curious question. So, you mentioned earlier the idea of synchronization, Rennel. So is this what Rolinda is talking about here? Like the music and the dance, the
Yes.
movements, the bosses that were talking about earlier. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yes. The idea of the sibol or the synchronization in ang Panay Bukidnon traditional dance. So the patik of the patik or the rhythm in the ring of the gong must synchronize to the patterns in the boss of the gong. And the takbol must also synchronize in the patterns of the gong. The movements of your shoulder must also synchronize in the beat of the gongs. And the footworks must synchronize in the beat of the entire ensemble of the Binanog dance. And that is how you do the sibol. And also in subing, you need to follow the rhythm. If they are playing talda, you must play talda. If they are playing turba, you must play turba. And that is how you perform what we call sibol.
So Rennel, another curious question, because you know there are two gendered modes, right? Can you play, let's say, a female mode with a male mode?
So that is very possible because a female mode is have a very different patterns, and male mode also have a different pattern. So I think male mode has only 7 mnemonics, and the female mode is 11 mnemonics, or more than 11 mnemonics. But the Tiglalaki only focus in 7. Patak dang dalunga, patak dangang dalunga, patak danga dalunga, patak danga talda, patak dangang talda. So only focus in 7, but the Tiglalaki is longer than the male mode. That's why you cannot play Tiglalaki and Tiglalaki at the same time. So if it is a male mode, you must play it in male mode. If it is a female mode, you must play it female mode.
Okay, that's understood. So, Rennel, can you? Oh, sorry. Oops. So maybe Rennel, can you work through how we can perform subing? Okay, so maybe we can have this one.
Yes, we have this performance guide for swimming. So this is a published material. It is funded by the University of the Philippines. So we make this performance guide for swimming, and it will help us how to transmit this tradition to our to the next generations of our community. So as you can see, we have these symbols, arrows, and that symbols symbolize how you strike the swimming. For example, if it is forward, if it is backward. If the tip of the arrow is going up, you need to play your swimming forward. And if it is going down, you need to play backward. So the special symbols is the unaccented beat. So as you can see, if it is unaccented beat, the symbol still remain. But if it is accented in damp beat, you can see the circle and the accent sign in above the pattern. And the countings, every box is 1 pulse or 1 counts. That's how you play the subing. So so this is the exercise for subing. So for example, for exercise 1, this is unaccented beat. So you must just play your subing all forward. 4 beat forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 strike forward. And in exercise 2, as you can see, unaccented and accented damp beats, but the accented damp beat is in the last part, in the 4th beat. That's why you need to use your tongue, or you need to strike the subing hardly. So first, you need to strike 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to strike the subing quickly. And next, in exercise 3, that is alternation. You need to play it forward and backward, forward and backward, forward, backward, forward, backward. So in backward, you must use your finger like this, backward, forward, forward. Next, in exercise 4, that is the challenge, because you will play forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, accent. Forward, backward, forward, accent. And that is your tigbabayi pattern, which is the tinagbak that I played in the video earlier. So that is the pattern of the tigbabayi in the video that I played, the tinagbak pattern. So this video. So this is the exercise for subing. So play the tigbabayi pattern subing. The first pattern is 1 forward, 1 backward, 1 forward. The second pattern is 1 forward, 1 backward, 1 forward, and a very strong forward. And the last pattern is 1 forward, 1 backward, 1 forward, So as you can hear, the mnemonics, every strike, gerilin, gerilin, da, gerilin, da. And you need to repeat it. Gerilin, gerilin, da, gerilin, da, gerilin, gerilin, da, gerilin, da. So the gerilin is the forward, backward, forward. Gerilin. And next, gerilinda. Gerilinda. So from the start, gerilin, gerilinda. And then next, gerilinda. And to make it complete, you need to do it like gerilin, gerilinda, gerilinda, gerilin, gerilinda, gerilinda. And that is the traditional rhythm of Gilbaliga or female mode in Panay Bukidnon Subing music.
Oh wow! And that is just only one rhythm, Rennel,
Yes, that's
right?
only one rhythm.
Okay, so maybe we can have more of that next time, right? I mean, it's nice also to learn new things, like all of these mnemonics in your mind. I mean, how do you make sense of all of these while you're performing the binanog? So this is for binanog, correct?
Yes, that is a binanog for female dance, a solo female dance.
Okay, wow. And I think the subing can, imitate the sound of the other instruments, and this is one of that, right? So let me try. Okay, girilin, girilinda, girilinda, girilin, girilinda, girilinda. Okay.
So in order that you cannot forget the pattern, you must memorize the mnemonics. Girilin, girilinda, girilinda, girilin, girilinda, girilinda. And you need to transfer the syllables in your subing. So girilin, girilinda, girilinda. And it will make you the Panay Bukidnon female traditional pattern.
Oh wow! I think there's so many things that we need to learn, right? Okay, so right now, I think we're nearing the end of our session because it's already about 9:30. So if you have questions to our speakers here, please feel free to ask them. This is now the time that we can, ask them anything that you want to maybe learn more about the instrument. Okay, and while you are thinking about your questions, so we have here a response from Eric. So the select things that struck him is that Sugangang is interesting because it's used as an instrument to make the children fall asleep, and that the litbit and tulali are instruments that cannot be translated into subing because of these are melodic. So, Rennel, can you tell us, what, how do the Panay Bukidnon make the children fall asleep with the suganggang? Can you explain?
The suganggang has a pattern also, as a mnemonics pattern. In the pattern of the suganggang is kung bata duyana, kung bata duyana. And the meaning of the kung bata duyana, duyan is the hamak, and kung bata is you are carrying the child. So kung bata duyana, kung bata duyana. So that is how we use the suganggang. We playing the suganggang like kung bata duyana, kung bata duyana.
Okay, so thank you, Rennel. I think Rolinda is actually doing that right now with her son. Anyway, we have here Jasmine. You're raising your hand.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, to do with out and in
So the inhaling and the exhaling in subing, ma'am, has no effect in the subing. The effect is how much pressure you give in your subing. So if you just inhale and exhale, it will just give you more loud sound. But But the more pressure you give, the louder the subing pattern that you have. And the pattern is here in how you strike the subing pattern. So air is just helps you how to make your subing loud, but you can use the air to tune the subing. But you can use your tongue to shift the shape of your mouth, and the shape of your mouth and the movement of your tongue affect in the rhythms of the subing. The rhythms will shift from sharp, from bass, from vowel sound, and the air will just contribute to make it loud.
So basically, it amplifies the sound.
Yes.
Okay. So it amplifies the sound. Okay. So to clarify, the air, in a way, makes it more reverberating.
Yes.
Okay. But in terms of, let's say, the pattern, it does not have any effect. Okay. So there's another question here. Okay. So Jasmine is showing her subing.
Wow, it is a Timoli Combing. Combing.
Is it a kumbing?
Combing from the Timoli community.
Is it? Let's check.
Yes. So
We can see the design.
the
so-
design is Timoli. That is from South Cotabato, I think. And Selraf is using in Maranao Combing from Maranao and Mindanao.
Okay, so we have also here a question from Kokoy. Madaming Salamat. Curious if you ever make your own tunog or stick to the following patterns. Or it's like, are you trying to innovate or you're trying to make your own new patterns?
No, I stick to the traditional way of playing the subing. I use the subing to follow the reggae music. Yes, I am using the subing to make a modern kind of rhythms like in reggae music. So, but mostly I am using traditional rhythms.
So I think I will add to that question. It also depends to the person. Like Rennel is an expert, so he can play easily the rhythmic pattern, while others, like some people also can't play it and they play it like very slow. So it also depends to the person how they create the sound. So once you are an expert, so it is easy for you to like big cast to do the syllable, and you can translate it to the instruments by playing.
Okay, so do we, I think your question was answered succinctly, right? So do we still have more questions? Okay, so we have here, okay, so I think we are running out of time. So if you have more questions, we can provide you some details as to how you can maybe follow up with that, maybe through email. Okay, so I hope that all of your inquiries were answered by our esteemed guests here. And as we draw our session to an end, okay, I'm asking the participants to answer an evaluation form. So you will be given a link later, and you'll be given a certificate of attendance. Especially for those who have answered the evaluation sheet. And of course, since this is an introductory course in subing, okay, maybe you can, since it's the inaugural, class for subing, so I would like everyone to please open their cameras for a class photo first, okay, as a form of remembrance also for our guest speakers. So let's have that. Okay, so is everyone in the, okay, how do I do this? Miss Ayi, can you please assist me with that?
Yeah, so
Okay, please.
just set or just parang mobile check.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone's there. Sophie, ayan, si Justin, we can see you. Sophie, are you there? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Si Jaira, grabe yung snow.
Ay, naka-snow pa.
Kabalot si Jaira.
Okay, so are we done, Miss Ayi?
And then, maybe Miss Grace, if you have any final reminders or closing remarks.
Okay, so maybe we can ask Ma'am Grace for some words before we end. Oh. I think you're on mute, ma'am.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I just want to thank you again for a fantastic webinar on Subing, and I hope this is just the beginning. Can folks order Subing from you?
Oh, actually, yes. I'll be posting the details later.
Great. And can they also order the Batuko?
Oh, Rennel and Rolinda, they're artisans.
Yes,
so-
yes, yes.
Yes, so please send,
Parang
make
yes,
the
okay.
order information available. And if people will start to be learning the Subing, can they get in touch with you via messenger or email? That's great. That's really great. Okay, so thank you. Our community is growing. As you know, this is not the most popular thing in the world that we are doing, but we are doing it anyway because we think it is very important to continue to make this knowledge available to everybody who's interested. So share the news to your friends, and we hope to see you again. And maybe Rennel, if you're open, Rolinda and Pow, maybe you would like to offer a longer course next year, including how to make a Subing. Is that something that's possible that you would want to teach people?
Yes, ma'am. We are very
Honored.
honored to teach them.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you truly. Thank you. And Ayi again, and Masana, thank you for all your help. And everyone, Ralph, who else is here? Jasmine, Kokoy, Asobi says, Jaira, Ari. Thank you so much. Thank you for making time for this, and we hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you. Take
So-
care.
Thank you, Miss Grace, for your message. And before we end, maybe we can have some final words from Rennel and Rolinda.
Yes, yes.
So, thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for choosing this Subing webinar. And we are very honored, and it is a very great privilege for us to share our indigenous knowledge to you. And we hope that it is not the end, but it is just the beginning of our learning in Panay Bukidnon Subing.
Rolinda?
Yes,
Any words?
we are very happy to share you one of our traditions from Panay Bukidnon, and we hope we will see you again next year to discover more of our traditions from Panay Bukidnon. And we are very open to share you more things about our culture. Thank you.
And I'll be sharing with you the details as to how you can contact Rennel and Rolinda. Okay, so here we have the Facebook contact of Rennel. So I think you can find 3 Rennel Lavillas on Facebook. Just find someone with a posh profile picture with him wearing that particular pudong or headdress. Okay, so just look for that. And of course, there's a kind of like a link there, hyperlink. So that's www.facebook.com/rennel.lavilla.9. So select that one. If you want to contact Rolinda, maybe you can just send Rennel a message, and then Rennel can link you up with Rolinda. Because Rolinda is a very innovative artisan also. She does a lot of interesting Panay Bukidnon embroidery works, not just the traditional ones, but also explorations on how they can innovate with the embroidery that we have. And with that, I would like to thank everyone for participating in this webinar. And of course, this is not the workshop proper, but I think it's nice that Rennel shared a bit of their knowledge with you, and I hope you learned something from listening to our esteemed speakers here. Of course, they started with a talk on Panay Bukidnon culture in general, and we would love to welcome you here if you have time, if you have the resources to come here. I think Rennel and Rolinda would be more than willing to accommodate you in their communities, and of course share with you their expertise. So with that, we'd like to end our webinar with a performance. The three of us performing a binanog performance with the use of three subins. So Rennel is doing the Agong Kadul rhythms. I'm doing the tambol rhythms, and Rolinda is doing the Agong Patik rhythms. And this is our treat for everyone who attended this webinar.